Hello everybody, this is your host Ever Rodriguez, and today I'll be doing a presentation on Riverdale. If you'd like to see the script for today's episode, feel free to check it out down in the description below. Alright, it's time to provide some background information. So Riverdale was produced by J.B. Mornville, and Riverdale is based on the Archie comic series back in December in 1941. So almost around 100 years ago, but probably closer to 75 years ago, if we're going to be honest. Riverdale is described as a teen drama and mystery, and believe me, we've got a lot of that. Originally, the show aired at the CW, but the show gained massive popularity once it started airing internationally at Netflix. The show is currently at its 6th season as of December 2021, and the show was shot in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Alright, so the first season of Riverdale takes us on a narrative story based on the murder case of Jason Blossom. Ever since Jason's death, the town of Riverdale has slowly gone through a dark turn. Our four main characters, Archie, Betty, Victoria, and Jughead, will try to adapt during these dark times while attending high school. As the series develops, new enigmas, developing questions, appear as everyone tries to solve the mysterious killing of Jason Blossom. In this presentation, I'll go over semiotic analysis, how the camera shots and signs are used within Riverdale. I'll also go through narrative analysis using Todorow's narratology theory, where I described an arc within the show. Lastly, we'll take a quick look at the culture analysis to see how Riverdale's realism can bring us closer towards an immersive experience. We'll first start off with the semiotic analysis. For this section, we'll first take a look at the mise-en-scene, or everything within the scene. We'll be analyzing the 4th episode of Riverdale, where we see Miss Grundy, the music teacher, and Archie in the same music room. The room is filled with various instruments that blend well with the soft red wall and brown woolen color. The place almost seems calming and classical looking. In terms of the camera work, we switch between the close-up shots, which shows us a bit of pathos, meaning that we get some emotion, and we also get some over-the-shoulder shots, which brings the audience closer between the relationship of student and teacher. Before playing the clip, it's also worth mentioning the gift that Archie gives to Miss Grundy. Since music made up their identification or connection, Archie figured that he'd give Miss Grundy a music bow. We can use the notation and connotation to describe the bow. With the notation, the literal meaning of the bow is its usefulness to play instruments such as the viola and the violin. The bow's connotational meaning is the signified meaning of the bow. Not only does the bow play music, but by picking up the bow, it also serves as a memory of Archie, one of her dear students for whom she taught music for. Without further ado, here is the clip.
No drive-in for you tonight?
I got you something.
Is this to make me feel better about my tragic past?
No. It's a thank you gift for everything you've done for me.
Archie. This... you cannot afford this.
On one of my guitars.
Why? You don't need to thank me. You shouldn't thank me.
Okay, we will now move on with the narrative analysis. Riverdale has several focus groups within the show. We have the Blossoms and the Lodges, who represent wealth. The Andrews are a charming bunch, but we'll be taking a look at the Coopers, a family that strives to look as perfect as possible. Betty's parents strive to be a perfect family, though Betty herself isn't the perfect daughter that her parents were expecting. Betty has a sister named Polly. The equilibrium, or beginning of the story, focuses on the whereabouts of Polly's arc. We're told that Polly was sent to a treatment institution because Polly is supposedly sick. The disruption, or problem, has been going on for a while since it's been months that Betty has seen her sister. Eventually, we're thrown into the recognition since Betty's questions are avoided by her parents. We witness the repair, the possible solution, on episode 6, when Betty further investigates her sister's whereabouts. Betty eventually finds a notebook containing some valuable information. This brings us to the new equilibrium, or the overall resolution. In this case, Betty finds the treatment institution that contains Polly. At last, Polly's mysterious whereabouts has been resolved, and both sisters are reunited once again. We see some pathos when the two sisters see each other for the first time in a while. Here's a clip of that emotional moment.
Polly?
Betty. Oh my God. You're here. You found us.
Finally, we have the cultural analysis. For this analysis, I'll briefly explain how realism is used within episode 11 of Riverdale. In this episode, our four main characters are living their daily lives, while some are still trying to figure out the murder case of Jason Blossom. Amongst all the chaos, there's a big school event. Homecoming. Personally, I've never been to Homecoming, but I became aware of its existence once I started watching shows that featured Homecoming. I just know that Homecoming comes after a football game. The closest event to Homecoming would be prom. I've only had a prom-like event in middle school. I've also had the chance to go to I've also had the chance to go to prom, but that chance was taken away once schools started shutting down due to a virus outbreak. Regardless, Riverdale uses realism in the Homecoming event because Homecoming is one of those events that people never forget. Since the grand majority of people got a high school education, it's easy to relate to something like the Homecoming event. When I watched Riverdale's Homecoming event, I was watching an event that I've missed out near the end of high school. Anyways, here's a small clip of the Homecoming music. See if it brings back some memories. This concludes all three analyses. Although Riverdale had its prime time during its first season, the show got to explore various everyday issues. Today we've only explored 3 topics within the show, but I hope that you've got to learn something about the show or about the 3 analyses. Riverdale may get a bit weird in the future seasons of the series, but its first season is a thrill to watch. Thank you once again for listening. This has been, again, your host, Ever Rodriguez. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.